Okay, welcome back to Civ 5. Today I'll be doing a 3-hour episode. It's it's not really good to play 1 hour episodes because at least for me I can't really get into the game, and I think longer episodes are better because I'm more aware of what I'm doing, because when I do this every 4 days I tend to forget what I was doing, and this way I think I'll play better and it will be more interesting that way. I can keep the train of thought going much better this way. So and I added some new kind of ambient music for this. I'll put the links in the description again. I think this kind of ambient is better for this kind of content anyway, because it's less intrusive, and but when I'm not talking, it's a good way of keeping this video interesting, because I have all the other sounds turned off for this game, so it's less boring that way. Okay, so I guess I'll be attacking the Danish soon. That's just overpowered. Jesus. This might just be a nitpick about this game, but I never liked how if you have a weak unit that's a long range unit, I mean archers and throwing X-Men and so on. They're kind of, when there's just one of them left, they throw twice. That's not how turn-based games are supposed to work. Even if it means that they do half the damage they normally do, that should be how it is. And the weaker your unit is, the less damage it should be doing. Which I guess there's some of that in this game too. I'm not entirely sure, even though I've played like 7,000 hours of this game, but I don't really pay attention well enough to those kinds of details. But anyway, that's how it should be, I think. I mean, there should be harsher penalties, combat penalties for weaker units. And stuff like Stone Age units doing damage to tanks and stuff like that, there should be absolutely zero damage in that case. Even stuff like pikemen versus musketmen, that should be, I think it should be pretty close to zero damage that the pikemen do, because there's actually real world examples of that, such as the Chinese fighting against the British in China, where there was, I think it was 300,000 Chinese pikemen versus something ridiculous like 5,000 British musketmen, and the British obviously won. Probably with minimal damage as well. This music is pretty much exactly what I was looking for, actually. It's interesting enough to keep listening, but not intrusive enough to take away from the game, and when I'm talking it's not overpowering or anything. Oh yeah, I was supposed to talk about this. Almost forgot. Like I said in a previous episode, I think I started eating a lot differently. First of all, I eat twice a day, so breakfast is, I've very often done it like I have about 250 grams of minced meat made into patties, I think it's called, and I just fry them with 2 eggs, and that's enough to keep me satiated for about 12 hours. And even when I get hungry, it's not like, okay, I have to destroy everything that's in the fridge and then go to the grocery store for more. It's more like, okay, you haven't eaten in a long time, just eat like something. So I guess my sense of hunger is much more healthy nowadays. So, and like today I went to the grocery store because meat was on sale. So what I bought was 2 packets of 350 grams of pork, pot roast meat for $2.79 per packet, which was regular price was $3.99, but they were going also, they were 30% off. Then I bought 2 packets of 600 grams each of Karelian stew meat, which was regular price was $9.98 per packet, but sorry, that was per kilo. So normal price was $12.58 per kilo, and so there was a reduction of $2.60 per packet, which was pretty good actually. So yeah, it was $4.99 per 600 gram packet. Then I bought 2 packs of feta cheese, 100 grams each, and I bought a whole fillet of salmon for $13.61. It was about 1.4 kilograms of, so it has all the, it was a fillet, so half a fish with all the inedible stuff, like, well, there's some fat, but it was cleaned well, and all the, I don't think the fish bones were removed, but well cleaned. Then I brought some broccoli and what do you call this? I think one of the celebrity chefs called these courgettes, which is like a green, not pumpkin, but something related to it. Then I brought some celery and 2 rolls of bread, because I'm trying not to eat bread at all, but I have had some cheese in the fridge, so I have to just destroy the cheese somehow. Then I bought this, I don't know, these are clementines or something, for about 1 kilo for 99 cents. I decided to try some chestnuts, so I bought some of those. Never had chestnuts before, so I'll have to Google some, I guess, recipes or something to try them. But yeah, it's mostly animal products, so meat, chicken, fish, eggs, and mostly green vegetables. So I don't really eat potatoes even anymore. I have some beetroots left over still from when I used to eat them, but even those are starting to run out, so I don't think I'm gonna buy more of them after this. Maybe 1 or 2 now and then, but I'm not exactly on what's it called, paleo diet or whatever, where you don't eat any carbs, but I eat some carbs, but very, very little and not every day. So, and I've noticed it. The only exercise I did in the last week was going to laser tag, and that was intense and very good exercise, even though running was not allowed in there. But you walk quickly and you walk all the time, so it's very good exercise, and I don't really get that tired because, well, my energy levels are better now after I changed my diet. And what's this? All right. And what was I saying? Yeah, my energy levels are starting to get better, and also it's something that when you go to laser tag, it keeps your mind occupied, so you're not thinking about your exercise while you're doing it, because it's fun, and so definitely that helps. Unfortunately for me, it's also fairly expensive, so I can't just do it every day. I mean, I guess every 3 days of laser tag would be pretty huge for my weight loss, but even that would be way too expensive for me. So, and now that it's winter, it's just about keeping my weight as it is, or losing a little, because when spring comes and I can walk again without having freezing air going into my lungs and aggravating my asthma, which is making my winter exercise almost impossible, because, well, there's not too many free exercise, indoor exercise, especially in this town. There's some, but I don't really know those places. But that's the next thing to figure out, what to do that I can afford. But yeah, like I was about to say, I didn't do much of anything in the last week, but I still lost about 1.5 kilos of weight anyway, just by this diet. or just because of this diet, which is good for me because I'm starting to notice my left side of my hip is starting to get kind of achy. There's some kind of slight pain there almost all the time now, and this weight is especially bad for my knees and ankles because I already have hypermobile joints and stuff like that, and I'm probably gonna have a crooked fingers in my if I live to be old and stuff like that. So this overweight is especially bad for me. But it's good thing that I finally figured out how to lose weight properly. And I'm actually hopeful about future now, because let's say I lose another, I don't know, 20 to 30 kilos, and which is about, what is it, 66 pounds or 70 pounds or something like that. I think I'll be able to actually work then. I mean, assuming I actually find a job that will hire me, but that's another thing. That's something to worry about later. I think the main thing now is to get proper healthy and things like that. So my starting weight this spring was 354.9 pounds, and now it's just a minute. £321.6 pounds. So it's pretty good weight lost so far. So that's 33.3 pounds, which is, it's definitely more than I was expecting, because, well, first of all, in the spring I didn't know what to do really about my weight loss, other than I was planning to walk about 5 kilometers per day, which is pretty decent for me. I mean, if I really tried, I could walk about double that per day, but probably have to take a break every 3 days or so, but still and the thing is, nothing really became of it. I didn't walk almost at all, except walking everywhere when I needed to go somewhere, but not really walking as exercise, which is a shame. But still, I know what to do now, so it's all good. At least I hope it's all good and not too late yet. But if I'm being honest, I probably bought myself a heart attack already, no matter what I do, but that will be a problem for the future and not to worry about now. My highest weight, I think, was something like 170 kilograms, which is 375 pounds about. So not good, and that was, I think, last year in the spring of 2022. Also, I've noticed, I'm not sure if it's the more reasonable weight loss, or because of my dietary changes or whatever, but I've stopped coughing so much as I used to cough before and stuff like that. It's easier to walk fast and it's easier to walk with heavier carriage and stuff like that, which is pretty obvious why, because I'm not carrying so much around my waist anymore. But yeah, all kinds of quality of life improvements, definitely. I read about a lot of this kind of stuff afterwards, after I started losing weight. I mean, really losing weight about 9 weeks ago, a little over 9 weeks ago, that people who have started eating similarly or even gone full carnivore, they've noticed almost exactly the same things have changed for them in terms of quality of life, which is pretty interesting because all of the health people always keep saying that you should not eat meat and you should eat the bugs and stuff like that, which is, well, that's the World Economic Forum people, but same thing. But anyway, it's not every one of them, including the vegans, always keep ignoring the scientific proof about the health of health benefits of eating real meats and none of those fake meats that they keep saying are delicious and stuff like that, and in reality they taste like chemical goop. Some of them taste like outright shit, but they'll never admit it because, well, first of all, veganism is a cult, and I mean, it's an outright religious cult, and this modern food pyramid based thing is it's probably paid for by the farming lobby and stuff like that. And if you're a doctor that prescribes to a more natural for humans kind of diet, you'll be cancelled and your monetary support is taken away and you'll be screwed and you'll never get work again in your field. Even if you have all the scientific proof and whatever, doesn't matter, you'll be cancelled. And they won't listen to anybody because it's so institutionalized that this is the absolute truth, that vegetables are the healthy option and meat is evil. Which makes no sense because in one form or another humans have been eating meat for about 2.5 million years, and we've been cooking it for about 1 million years, so there's literally zero arguments you can make that meat is bad for you because it's literally the natural kind of food that humans can eat. I eat I mean, some people, they can do their carnivore diets, I don't care, but I eat some vegetables because well, I like the taste first of all, and they bring some kind of extra flavor for meat dishes, so it's really good. Especially when you know how to cook. But nowadays it's so ridiculously easy to know how to cook anyway, because first of all you have YouTube and all the famous and non-famous chefs are in there with their recipes, and once you get the handle of the recipes you can start to improvise and stuff like that, where you maybe change or add or subtract or stuff like that to ingredients in that recipes, and then you'll start to remember them without the recipes, and before you know it you'll just work out how to do a meal for yourself without any kind of recipes, and just do it with how do you say it? Do it by feeling, because you'll know how different ingredients work, and so it's good. And besides, when you cook for yourself, the food somehow tastes better even. And you'll now know how to use the spices and stuff like that. And besides, cooking shouldn't be something you fear, because it's so simple when you get the hang of it, and there's no point in fearing something so simple. Just trial and error, like in all things. And I think there's some kind of, like in our country, in Finland, you have these, I'm not sure how to call them in English, but this group of basically mothers and grandmothers who run this organization that teaches all the home economic stuff and cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. So they have courses for cooking, for example. And I'm pretty sure you have those in every country. I think that's the end of that track. I'll switch the music in a minute. But that was really nice and calming music, I think. Time to attack soon. Next turn is time to attack. Let's see what kind of defenses these cities have. Nothing enough. Even their capital is pretty pitiful. Not that my cities are too well defended either, but at least I have a lot of army and my explorers count as army, so I don't think there's anyone in the world that's brave enough to attack me in any way. I mean, they might complain, but who cares? And I have the mod that keeps warmongering penalties lower, so that's good. Because I'm planning to take over the Danish completely, because they're just in the way, to be honest. Sorry, but 12 defense on a city against my chariot archers is nothing. Yeah, I can't annex it yet. Next turn. I really have to start finding some iron. There's 6 in here, 6 there. There's not much iron around. There's some here, 2 in here and 6 in here. So I'll have to make some snow cities. There's almost no iron. When it comes to new games, I'm not planning on really buying anything right now, or even probably not even next year. But well, maybe with the exception of Homeworld 3, if I can find it on a sale or something. But I really want to work on getting my financial situation in order. And I'm not really interested in new games anyway, because games nowadays are way too, I don't know if formulaic is the right word to describe them, but they're pretty much all the same nowadays. And most of them are, even though almost all of them are competently made, but most of them are boring because they're made pretty much basically just created by committees and stuff like that, and they're really boring, and there's nothing they can offer me that I haven't played before. Let's just take anything Bethesda makes nowadays compared to Fallout 3, or even Fallout 4 is pretty okay, but it's the last game they made that's of any interest to me. And actually, maybe that could be an idea for a video or live stream later. I'm gonna figure out what kind of assembly of mods I'm gonna make. I mean, not make, but install for Fallout 4, and then I can play that probably on a live stream, or maybe even a video series, or maybe a live stream at first and then a video series for the rest of the game. I'm probably not even gonna play the main campaign because it's really boring and not of any interest to me. I've never played Fallout 4's campaign to the finish. I mean, finished it. Which says a lot about the game. It's not bad, like I said, it's competently made, but some of the decisions made about it when it comes to things like what the weapons are like in the game are just really stupid, and they are made by people who have no idea how weapons are supposed to work, and you can see it easily because they'll have like, I'm not sure how to explain this because I'm not a weapons expert, but it's the simplest of things, like where the magazine goes into the weapon versus where the evacuation hole for the spent casings, where they come out, are located, and they're just incompetently made, those weapons, most of them. Some of them are okay, I mean, they look a bit silly, but still, I mean, the 10mm pistol is from the better side of the designs in that game, but luckily there's a lot of mods, and I'm planning on playing installing the mod called Wars, Weapon Addition and Replacement Suite, and then there's another mod by the same guy called Peace. So Wars and Peace. While the Wars mod adds and replaces a lot of the weapons in the game, the Peace mod is, as I understand or as I remember it, it's about everything else in the game. That's maybe seen as a mistake on how the game should look or something like that. and then I'll figure out, I'll test play it and see if I need some other mods in addition to those two big ones. Probably some kind of UI mod on top of those and stuff like that. Quality of life improvement mods. I just hope Bethesda learns about their mistakes soon and stop trying to correct user reviews and trying to correct their thinking in air quotes, which is what they are doing absolutely in Steam and not elsewhere. It's like they have a whole team of people who try to make it look like those user reviews are wrong and they don't know what they're talking about. There's plenty of videos about this subject on YouTube and you should definitely watch them. It's especially glaring in the case of Starfield and the user reviews about that game. So I would definitely, actually I'd say directly, do not buy Starfield. I'm never going to buy Starfield myself. It's never gonna happen. That's the second game. Well, okay, I tried Fallout 76, but I never paid for it. It was a free weekend that I took advantage of. But even then I only played for about 15 minutes, but because that was basically just Fallout 4 online. And that's not something that's worth it for me to play. So yeah, Starfield is not worth your time. Even if it's just to how should I say this? Even if it's just to show Bethesda that you can't get away with making games like, I mean not games like that, but making lazy development decisions like that and not knowing how guns should work and basically all the little stuff like that, and especially using that same old crappy engine that's been in existence since the late 90s. So I mean, it's a lot different now because it's been modified to hell, but it's still basically the same old Gabriel engine. Or I think that it was called something else in the late 90s, but for instance in Skyrim it's one of the reasons that all the cities seem like they're just little hamlets and there's not really any people there, and because the game engine couldn't handle all those things. I guess now it can handle that because from the gameplay footage of Starfield, for example, I've seen there seems to be a lot of people, I mean, and NPCs around. But yeah, don't waste your time on Starfield. At least until it's for sale for less than $10 or euros or equivalent, and definitely don't play it before it's been modded to hell, because, well, let's be honest, the players know how to improve the game more than Bethesda does, which is ridiculous, but that's just how it is now, and how it's been for since Oblivion, at least. It's a shame, but what can you do? Customers keep rewarding Bethesda for the same lazy game design as they've always done. I'm just not gonna be part of that crowd. But something for everyone, I guess. And if you wanna play lazily made games, I totally understand. I'm playing one myself right now. And the only reason I'm playing this game right now is because user mods. And because in the I keep forgetting words, sorry. But when it comes to basics, this game is really good all by itself. It just needs some help in the form of mods to make it take it to the finish line or make it better or playable. But yeah, games nowadays, I'm not expecting much, and I'm gonna be relying on people like Angry Joe and maybe, well, who else is there that I know? Nobody else. not since Total Biscuit died, because he's the main guy I used to watch, and his reviews of especially small indie titles was just absolutely invaluable to for well, first of all to the indie game makers, but to consumers like me to lesser extent than others who enjoy indie games. It's amazing what he used to do. And now Angry Joe is the only one I watch. It's good because he does those really long 1 hour episodes per game, and it's really good because you get it's time enough to get really deep into the game and really show how it's done and how it works and what's good and what's bad and stuff like that. So really good that there's still guys like him around and who show without me having to spend my money what little I have into those games, or well, except if I happen to know the game from my own past or something, if it's a re-release or something like that. That's a good promotion. I mean, sure, I've seen some critique about Angry Joe's politics or whatever he's been saying on Twitter, but I don't really give a crap because that's not why I'm watching Angry Joe. I watch his stuff because I want to know how games are nowadays. Besides, it shouldn't matter what somebody's politics are. If they're doing something useful. And even if they aren't, it shouldn't matter. Because, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one. Might as well just annex it now that it's only has one population. Well, there's another game I might try at some point, maybe in a stream or something. It's Postal 4. I still haven't touched it yet, even though I bought the what's it called, pre-sale version. The early access, the physical version of the game I bought straight from the guys who make it, so it was kind of I guess you can call it some kind of crowdfunding, except that I actually got something for it for sure. Because with those crowdfunding games, you can never be sure if you're actually gonna get it or not in the end. Prime example is Star Citizen, which I bought the physical Star freelancer package, which is supposed to come with a miniature and soundtrack and some kind of artwork and whatever. But I bought it in 2013 and it's been 10 years and still no word about it yet. But I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty confident that they're actually gonna finish the game. It's just a question of when. It's definitely taken too long because of the feature creep and stuff like that. All the all of the drama that's been going around the game all these years. But the crowdfunding, it has made something ridiculous like $300 million, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna finish it anyway. But it's a good lesson of not buying something that's not actually finished unless you can afford it and are not expecting it to appear on time. Oh, just remembered the 1998 version of Battlezone might be a good game to play on this channel. Wow, I'm really gaining a lot of gold in this game. Just from destroying units. Especially barbarians. Really bad how well this is Prince difficulty, but still, I think the AI should be able to know how to defend themselves, and they really don't. I think there's ever been really one game where I've actually lost, and only once. I was pretty bad. music sounds like it's just the same thing all over and over again. Not sure if it doesn't change soon, I might change the whole video. I'll just have to look for new music while I'm waiting for another turn. I think I'll skip forward a bit. No, it's literally the same thing all over and over again. I'll change the music. Let's try this. Uh, nah, I'll just keep fighting. But that would have been an epic peace deal for me. Like I said, I don't care about destroying the Danish because they're just in the way. Anyway, they'll just keep building new cities later, and then I just have to fight them again later. Alright. Too bad. Could have used open borders about now. Really, I think I'm gonna end it for today. I'm getting really tired all of the sudden, so. But it's been 2 hours, so it's pretty okay. So, well, anyway, thank you for watching and see you on the next one. Bye.